What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? We finna get to the stream in just 1 second. I'm finna get to playing, man. These people been crazy today, man. But I like it. I like it. I like it. Met some good people, and I met some, let's just say, not so good people. But anyway, I'll be back in 1 minute, and we gonna get to the gaming. This DMZ, man, I like it. I like it a lot. But I'm finna talk shit. Shout out Aaron. What's up? And then my boy Rio, he talking about he ain't finna watch nobody play no video games. He too grown for that shit. Man, do you know video games is the top paying shit on YouTube? I will. Soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Hey, say what's up to Rio Neezy, y'all. He's the anti-reparations reparationist. I got 500. And now you live on my stream too. I got you on the stream too. Immortalized. I'm finna start this game. Let's go. Aaron, you see where you at? I don't see you in the chat. Oh, I did see Aaron in the chat. Oh, I saw Aaron. He subbed to me. Shout out to the church folk. Hey, I think he got better. I think he got better musicians at his church than what you got, and his whole family plays. Yeah, you heard me. Yeah, you heard me too, Aaron. I'm finna start a church beef. LMG, frags, and all right. I hope I don't have no sorry players this time. Hey, Callie Jane, what's up, sis? Hoorah. Hey, greetings to you and your family too. I'm not sure. Should I be streaming this game on this channel or on the Regime channel? Hey Rio, you check out the stream? Alright, well don't say nothing crazy on here because you're on the speakerphone and I'm streaming. So it's going live to the world.
Welcome to Al Mazrah.
No, you ain't got to. You just click the link and it'll take you to the YouTube page. Ah, who just left? Big. Oh no, the other guy. So, ping a contract, Slick, and then I think ping one of them phones. I think. You should be done. We can do what you want to and then just extract. Exfil or whatever.
hit!
Yeah.
Throwing grenade!
Ultra One, activity is increasing near your location. Stay alert.
Charlo's activity is increasing.
Grenade! Bad guys! Cover me! Need to heal up!
I hit that bad boy with the top. Long one. Let's bust this safe, get some money, and let's go. We stock
Ultra
up
One,
and
be
let's go. We
advised that
so hard.
safe is bringing heat your way. Be ready for a gunfight. Ultra One, activity has increased in the area. Keep your eyes open.
I'm hit! Took a round! I could use some medical!
Ultra One, the safe is open. Ultra One, actual. UAV is returning to base.
God damn. Yeah.
Suboptimal!
Put it on full screen. Jeez, y'all saw I just lost. Jeez. Don't worry, I'm coming back. Hey, but you know what it be, Mario? Mario. So you get people on the game, right? But instead of working as a team because they put you in groups of 3, these motherfuckers gonna go and do their own shit. But they got a setting in here where you can go in there by yourself. You're on your own squad. Nobody's expecting you to do shit. You get me? All right. Gun. Man, I swear they be. Let me see if I got anybody in my squad. Jeez. Everybody offline. They don't play. All my friends is offline. They only play the overnight shit. I told you we live, though. I told you we live. And saying names and shit. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh man, I can wait.
Al-Mazrah. Exploring, looting, and securing intel will open access to missions and targets. Expect resistance from local forces, and watch for other operators in the AO.
Ghetto Fab, what's up, bro? Hey, burn one. Come on and burn one.
The location of a transport moving high-value cargo. Secure the vehicle and deliver it to the HLZ. Target is marked on your TAC map.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a virus. Yeah, just use the link I gave you that I sent you. Yeah, I just started a new match. You see your boy over there, I told him to come smoke one. See Ghetto Fab in there, I told him to come around and smoke one.
Actual to Ultra One, you're approaching the objective area. Vehicle is located in the warehouse building. Expect contact on target.
Remember, we live now.
Ultra One, this is Actual. Use the keypad for entry. Access code is inbound.
Except mine. I'm not a criminal. You can't incriminate me. So I'm just saying, don't say the names, nigga. They'll figure it out later. That's better. Motherfuckers already know who I am. They don't need to know who you are.
Ultra One, vehicle secure. Extract point is marked on your TAC map. Now get moving. Ultra One, you've got an enemy rotor wing inbound to your location.
the start of the mission, you know. I hope they come back for me. I'm gonna die.
Taking effective fire!
I hope they come back for me.
Ultra One, this is actual. You're approaching the HLZ. Extract bird is spinning up.
Keep driving, just keep driving. Driving. Once you deliver, it's good. Hey, you, Palermo, get the fuck out the way. You ain't got no gun. Get the fuck out the way. Beat him. Beat
Ultra
him.
One, this is actual. Cargo is secure in RTB at this time. Good work.
Damn good. Oh, I swear these people be playing like they stupid. What the hell? Jump in the water and swim. Get under the water and swim.
Ultra One, there's an enemy stash house in your location. Take it down. 1, you're less than 100 meters from the target area. Stay alert. Ultra One, enemy reinforcements approaching your position.
Hey, good game, bro. Good try, though.
Ultra One, the enemy is on high alert. Proceed with caution. Al-Mazrah. Explore, secure intel, and loot to gain access to new missions. Enemy threat is high, so expect contact. That intel gave us the location of a high-value target, marking your TAC map.
We gotta go hunt real people, and I ain't got no damn plates. Shit. Let's go. Yep. Oh, mama ain't tripping. Yeah, Jojo Army, right?
Taking fire!
Oh, but Lori was, right?
Action. All contract targets are down. Good work. Payment has been authorized.
Took around!
Ultra One, actual. You're approaching the objective now. Vehicle is located in the warehouse building. You're cleared hot on any threats in the area. Actual to Ultra One, your intel supplied the location of high-value cargo being moved in the AO. Secure the transport and get it to the HLZ. Location is marked on your TAC map. Actual to Ultra One. Vehicle secure. Move it to the HLZ for extraction. Location is marked on your TAC map.
Just follow that road all the way around. You be straight,
Ultra
just
One,
follow that
actual.
road.
Enemy bird is closing on your position fast. Enemy attack helo is heading your way. Actual, you're approaching the HLZ. Extract bird will be en route directly. Objective secured. Slasher 2 is RTB with the package at this time. Good work.
Hey, we lost three. some crazy ass town.
Incoming!
Al-Bagra or something. It's called Al-Bagra or
Go
something.
live. Effective fire! I'm fading here.
Real troops. Real people.
I need medical.
Ultra One, activity is increasing near your location. Stay alert.
Set a drop point for your squad, soldier.
Ultra One, the enemy is on high alert. Proceed with caution. Welcome to Al Mazrah. Exploring, looting, and securing intel will open access to missions and targets. Expect resistance from local forces and watch for other operators in the AO. Ultra One, we're seeing increased activity in the area. Stay sharp.
Check around! Ultra One, completing contracts earns you cash to use at buy stations for gear and upgrades.
Hey, is y'all gonna ping a contact? How does that work? I know I did that mission, but everybody I be trying, all y'all gotta do is ping a contact or something, and your mission is done. Yup. I need to do a hunt mission and take the dude's weapon. Old enough. 40 something. 41.
Suboptimal! Took around!
Ultra
We
One,
need
activity
medical!
is increasing near your location. Stay alert.
Invading here! We need medical!
Oh, Ace is pretty good.
I'm invading here!
Welcome to Al-Mazrah.
مو معقول هالشي.
Completing contracts earns you cash to buy gear and upgrades. Ultra One, activity has increased in the area. Keep your eyes open. Activity in the area. Stay sharp.
Suboptimal! Taking effective fire! I got you! I got you! Throwing grenade! I got you! Good. Go! Ammo here! Suboptimal! I need medical! I got you! I'm good. Go! I'm hit! Take control. I'm good. Go! Watch your fire! I got you! Optimal! Fading here!
to Al Mazrah. Explore, secure intel, and loot to gain access to new missions. Enemy threat is high, so expect contact. Ultra One, activity is increasing near your location. Stay alert.
Shit, bad guys! Taking effective fire! I got you. I need medical. I got you. I'm good. Go. Taking effective fire!
You'll live.
I'm good. I got you. I'm good. Go. Check fire! I got you.
Contact!
I'm good. Go! Drag out! Taking effective
good.
fire! I got you. I'm good. Go!
Watch your fire!
One, contact awarded cash or market attack map.
They father!
Bomb drone deployed!
Bomb drone is armed.
I'm good.
Effect on
Go!
target. Ultra One, you're entering a denied area. Stay alert.
I got you.
I'm good.
I got you. Took around. I'm good. Go.
You'll live. Taking fire!
I'm fading here.
Mark a drop point for your squad. You will lead them in.
The face of freedom is dead.
Updates or something like that, because I know they're trying to add more features onto it, because I guess they're competing now with other different streaming platforms. So I don't know, but everything was ready, and then the camera wouldn't shut on. The camera's plugged in, the microphone's plugged in, but the camera and the microphone wouldn't come on StreamYard. I had to close it, open it, close it, open it, close it, open it, and then it froze. So then I had to reset the whole laptop, so that's really what happened. But we're here now, and everything seems like it's running smoothly now. There's no buffering or anything of that sort, anything of that nature. Tiana is in here. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? How are you? And then we have James. How are you, sir? Now, without any further ado, because we're already a little behind schedule, I want to first off thank everybody. We had a pretty good sale last week for the 15% off plus free shipping sale that we had on the merchandise last week. I want to thank everybody for supporting. I want to thank everybody who purchased merchandise. I want to thank everybody who shared the link. There was a lot of people who were like, hey, can't really afford it right now, but I will share the link. So I saw it on your Twitter, or I saw it on your Instagram. They were like, hey, go check out Afro Elite's merchandise. So thank you all very much for doing so. Carla, how are you? How are you? Hope everybody is doing well this Monday. Let me get to the link. I'm telling y'all, I tried to be here on time. I really did. I really did. To the link. Now, this just gonna kind of get straight into it. Let's see. Now, as you guys know, we've been consistently pursuing the cause of reparations. For the last, I really want to say the big push of reparations was in 2019. So really, because it's about to be 2023, so really for the last like 4 years, we've been pushing very heavily on slave reparations. You know, now we have pushed, so you guys know, clarifying, we are pushing for slavery reparations specifically and very exclusively for the descendants of American slaves. This isn't for all black people, and this is for slavery reparations. Now, people have asked me, I remember having an interview with Revolt during the Rally for Reparations. I did a small interview with them. And they asked me about other forms of reparations, or should we give reparations for everything else? And to be honest with you, I believe we should. We should give reparations for everything else. Jim Crow, redlining, just all of the discrimination, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, all of these things. I believe we should. However, this is just my opinion. However, I feel it would be better for us to focus right now on slavery reparations, and then get the bag with that first, and then we can talk about the Jim Crow and all of that stuff. Because if we start off with everything, then I feel like it makes the case a little bit more difficult for us to argue lineage-based stuff. So let's start off with slavery reparations. I feel like that would be a good stepping stone for us to talk about the G1 bill, for us to talk about the GI bill, for us to talk about the redlining and everything else. I feel like the big fish, that's slavery reparations, you know. So that was my opinion on that. Also, we're talking about the federal government, the United States government, paying descendants of slaves reparations. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about state to state reparations, although I have absolutely no problem with that. But we're not going based off of the state to state reparations, because then that varies. And then, okay, if I live here, I get this much, but if my parents lived here, they get this much, and then all of these different things, right? So we're going off of the federal reparations. However, we're not going to say no to the state giving us money too. We're not going to say no to that. Now, this is what this is about. This isn't about the federal government giving us reparations. This is about the state of California giving us reparations. So I'm prefixing this to say, even though this is a good win, or this could be, I'm not going to say it is, but it could be a good win, this isn't the target. This is kind of like, this is a good mark, but this isn't the big mark. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want anybody off by reading this and to be like, oh wow, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Not really, not yet. Okay. So without any further ado, let me see. I want to pull this up, and then I want to read this. There's a lot to break down. This article is actually pretty short, though. This was today. I tried to find the most recent one I could. This was today from ABC, I guess 13 News. I don't know. ABC News. So, California could owe slave descendants up to $569 billion total in reparations, experts say. Now, the very first thing that I want to say with this is they're talking about slave descendants. They could owe slave descendants. See, that's a trick thing. That's a trick thing, because we're not talking about slave descendants. We're talking about descendants of American slaves. See, that's a little trick that they'll pull if we allow them to do that. If we allow them to be all like, oh yeah, slave descendants, because slave descendants is very, or it's not very vague. It's not very vague at all, but it's just vague enough. Before I really get into it, actually, let me pause this real quick to explain why it's very important to be specific. And Dr. Claude Anderson, he talks about this all the time. The need for specificity, okay? we have to be specific, because if we do not specify exclusively who gets it and who doesn't get it, if we leave a little gray area, a little bit of wiggle room, then you can have people who get it who wouldn't qualify. When they get it and they don't qualify, then that opens the door for a whole bunch of other people to get it and not qualify. If that becomes the case, then everybody's just gonna get it. And if everybody gets it, it's not going to really be reparations. It's not gonna be reparations. It's just gonna be like another stimulus check. And then black people will be filtered down and we will be at the bottom of that stimulus check. We don't have time and time to keep getting reparations right. We gotta hit our mark the very first time. We can't be messing up. We have to be very, very specific. This has been the problem in black society for the longest time. The fact that they'll say black, 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 they'll say black, 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 black. Everything black, we are the face of, and then next thing you know, they shoehorn some other group and they reap most of the benefit. Just like with affirmative action. Affirmative action was supposed to be for discrimination in different places, like especially the labor market, the job force, and then you have schools and other things like that that were discriminating against qualified black people, and they were giving the oppressor class preferential treatment, and the affirmative action came about to kind of offset that. And then when you added the vague term of minority, then next thing you know, what does a minority in America mean? Well, everybody is a kind of a minority in a little sense, in a little bit. So now everybody can qualify for affirmative action, you know? So that's why we have to be very specific when we use certain terms like minority, people of color, all of that stuff. That opens the door, and that ultimately is going to defeat the purpose, because the purpose for us getting reparations, our goal of us getting reparations, is not just because we're owed it. It's because we're owed it anyway. If we were all rich, if we were all billionaires, we would still be owed reparations. Don't get me wrong. But the purpose that we're trying to get reparations is because eventually that's going to set the stepping stone of defeating the system of anti-black racism. You already know what I mean. WS. That's what we're going to do, because our reparations is going to be the thing that gives us the stepping stone or the rocket boost to close the racial wealth gap. That closing the racial wealth gap needs to be every black person's, specifically every F.B.A.'s #1 priority. Our #1 priority needs to be closing the racial wealth gap, because once that is closed, all of these other little issues will start fixing itself. All of these other smaller issues will start fixing itself. So we need to close the racial wealth gap. And if you understand, like if you guys have read Powernomics by Dr. Clyde Anderson, he shows or he teaches that one of the best ways to close the racial wealth gap is for us to get our reparations that we were owed ever since we left the plantation in 1965. So this is what we're fighting for. It's not just for us, but it's for the ultimate goal of really the liberation of our people going forward. So we have to be very specific. So even when you see something as that seems like it's not a big deal, if it's not exactly our language, we cannot accept that. Okay? Now somebody says a question. I was born, raised in California. My mom and dad are from Mississippi and Louisiana. Do I qualify? To be honest, I really can't tell you if you qualify for it. You probably, if you were born and you were raised there, you probably could. I would assume so. You're a resident. I would assume so. I don't think your whole family has always had to live in California. I don't think so. I didn't read anything about that. I would assume so. Yes. Hit that like button. Y'all please make sure y'all leave a like on this. So, anytime we see something like slave descendants, no. Why we cannot do slave descendants? Because black people, there's slavery all over the world. Of course, we know this. We are talking about American slavery, not the planet Earth slavery. We're not paying reparations to slavery that happened in Japan. We're not paying reparations to slavery that happened in Africa. We're not paying reparations to slavery that happened anywhere around the world. This is reparations for slavery that happened under the watch and protection. When I say protection, they protected it. Watch and protection and governance of the United States of America. So any other slavery thing that happens outside of the United States of America does not count whatsoever. Does not count. So when they say descendants of slaves, you can have people come over here, well, technically, you know what I'm saying? I'm Latino and there was slavery in Mexico. I'm a descendant of slaves. The Spanish enslaved Mexicans. So I'm a descendant of slaves. No. It don't work that way. This is why we have to be airtight with the language. But let's continue. Okay. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. Now it says says 5-member experts consulting team for California Reparations Task Force indicate the state's payout could total as much as 569 billion. 569 billion. Okay. The consulting group came to this conclusion after it multiplied the average per capita housing wealth gap with the number of black residents living in California since 1980. So to answer the question, who was it, good night, to answer your question, I don't know if you were living in California in 1980, maybe that's the stipulation for that. Now, it goes on to say, now these are, I guess, the quotes from some of the people on the task force, where they said, it is likely that not all blacks who lived in California in 2021 also resided in the state between 1933 and 1977, or are legal heirs of eligible recipients who did. A scope of work, reports to the task force indicated. To estimate the state's maximum liability for racist redlining practices, the average per capita housing wealth gap is multiplied with the number of black California residents in 1980, the report showed. So maybe I'm not as informed on the California task force as other people, so you might want to ask maybe other people about that. I know our brother Tariq has been involved with that, so he might, I'm sure he knows more, and he stays there, so he knows more than me on that. But based off of what it's saying right here, it seems as if this is, you have to, I guess, been here at least since 1980. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay. Oh, you were born in the late 60s? Okay, well, based off of what this was saying, I think you would qualify. Now, it continues to say, earlier this year, the task force voted in favor of using lineage instead of race. Shout out to us. We are the ones who pushed that. We are the ones who pushed that because they tried to do a little trick bag. We're the ones who's all like, nope, this got to be lineage based. So shout out to y'all for doing that. Especially shout out to the ones in California. Okay, starting over. Earlier this year, the task force voted in favor of using lineage instead of race to determine eligibility for reparations in the state, according to California black media. Now this is another quote. The community eligibility will be based on lineage determined by an individual of African American, the descendant of a person enslaved as chattel, or descendant of a free black person living in the United States prior to the end of the 19th century. Now, with that one, no. Now I'm not really 100% on that one. I'm not really 100% on that one, because to say I'm a descendant of a free black person who was living here prior to the 19th century, that's no. That's a little tricky there. That's a little tricky there, because then you can have, you know, my people are from Jamaica. We got here after, because slavery, they say, but slavery ended in 1965. So, oh yeah, my people got here in the 1980s, but that was before the 1880s. That was before the 1900s. So I'm a descendant of somebody who was here prior to the 1900s, but I'm not a descendant of slaves. That's see they try to throw a little something in there just to kind of, they say something good and then they throw a little bit of something in there so they can come back later. That thing, if we don't pull it out, it's like a weed. If we don't pull it out, it's gonna grow and it's gonna become a big problem. And it's gonna kill. You guys know about weeds. Weeds kill like the flowers, plant life around it. So if you don't pull it by its root when you first start seeing it, then it's gonna grow and it's gonna become a bigger problem. The whole, okay, well, I'm a descendant of a free black person who lived prior to 19th century. Why would you add that? You gotta really think, why would they add that instead of just saying a black person who can trace their lineage at least back to slavery, at least back to the 1860s, 1850s, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because with that, it creates a little bit of wiggle room. And remember how we discussed earlier, just that little bit of wiggle room is enough to completely mess up the whole plan. You know, so we don't want to let that slide. Okay, exactly. Royal Me, bait and switch. Exactly. So continuing, it says, a spokesman for the state of California's Reparations Task Force, which was created in 2020 following the passage of Assembly Bill 3121, told the National Desk TND it is exploring options for reparation recommendations. Now, this is just a link to, I guess, I don't know what this is about, but we're still on article. Fire! Now, throwing grenades! The speaker also indicated that while primarily recommendations can be found in a, I guess it's on my laptop. Interim report released earlier this year by the task force, no financial figures are outlined in the report, and no final recommendations or financial reparations have been finalized or presented yet to the California legislature. Okay, but sometime next year, following public hearings and extensive research, the task force told TND it will issue a new report that will explore options for reparations. Jovan Scott Lewis, a University of California, Berkeley professor and a member of the task force, indicated to the New York Times that the plan must be robust and include plenty of options.
Ultra One, you can locate cash reward contracts on your TAC map.
That's another one. That's another one. Plenty of options. No, we're not doing plenty of options. To me, there's only one option, and to you guys, there should only be one option, and that option is cutting the check. That is it. We're not doing, well, you know what? I feel like slavery in the form of legalizing weed. I feel like I think California already does that, but I feel like slavery in the form of free health care. I feel like slavery in the form of housing loans. I feel like slavery in the form of education grants. No, there's not no plenty of options as far as reparations. Now, the only thing that I can feel might be determined is how often y'all gonna send the checks weekly, y'all gonna send them monthly, y'all gonna send them bi-weekly, how much is each check gonna be? See, that's the only thing that I feel like we need to have further discussion about. Just the details about the check. That's all. That's really just it. No, what kind of reparations? We're gonna give you $569 billion worth of healthy fruits and vegetables. No, that's no, absolutely. Okay. You see you appreciate everybody in the chat. You say love you, love I'm doing my thing. Absolutely. I love the fact that you guys are here. Got a good amount of people in the room. If you guys can please hit that like button and retweet this on your Twitter page. You know, y'all can retweet this, or I tweeted it. So y'all can just go to Twitter and then y'all can retweet my tweet. So more people can know that we're live. Exactly, run us the money. Because what they tried to do is, hold on. Okay, yeah. What they do is they say something really good in the headlines. Imagine the headlines: $569 billion in reparations to the descendants of American slaves. That's a great headline. And what they're counting on is that you're not going to read the thing all the way through. And if you do, you're not going to see the bait and switch that they play. You're reading it and you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty good. Now, if I was not an educated person as far as their tactics, me reading this, I would be like, oh, wow, I see we're making progress. I don't see a problem with this. But since I know the tactics, since I'm aware of how they like to play games, I know for a fact that, okay, what they're going to do, the descendants of slaves, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of people.
Activity is increasing near your location. Stay alert.
From Spain, you know, so technically, and I live in California, and I've been here since 1980. So technically, why can't I consider to be reparation? No, that's number one. And then number two, if you guys notice what we just explained, then they try to be like, well, reparations, we got to explore the options. Ain't really nothing to explore as far as the check. I mean, how you gonna give the check? If you guys gonna do mail? If you guys are gonna do direct deposit? I mean, maybe those options. Should the check be? Should y'all get like a quarter of it, then another quarter? Should it be broken down in like half and half? Should it like those are the only real options. It shouldn't be no option of well, you know, we're gonna have $5 billion worth of college grants or loans. We're gonna have $2 billion worth of debt relief, credit card debt relief. Like, no, those are not reparations. Cyber9, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. B1 to you. I appreciate your support. I greatly do. Beatzilla is in here. I see you, brother. Now we're gonna read something else. We're gonna go to something else. Cash App. Hey, I love the Cash Apps. I don't even really put my Cash App in my in this thing. I need to actually do that. But the Cash App, if you guys want to know, let me type it in. If you guys want to know, it's Afro. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Cash App. All right, let me get to this other but I appreciate the super chats too, because I know y'all like to leave messages too. So I appreciate that. Let me see. The only option, cut the check to F.B.A.'s. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And thank you very much for your super chat. The $10 super chat. I 100% agree. There's no other option. We're not doing no $1 million worth of, you know what I'm saying, housing grants and all. No, we're not doing that. We are not playing that game. You need to cut the check. That's the only option, you know. But that does show, to be honest, I will give credit for the fact that we are making progress. Even though they're trying to sabotage the progress going forward, we're still making progress because years ago, like let's say 10 years ago, they wouldn't have even considered doing this. They would know reparations task force 10 years ago. Like they just said, the reparations
Ultra
task
One,
force.
activity has
That's
increased
like
in
2
the
years
area.
ago.
Keep your eyes open.
So 10 years ago, we were not this close. We're much closer now than we were 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say we should do a victory lap. We shouldn't. It's not that time. But I want us to understand that we are pushing the needle forward. But I want to get to this. This was sent to me. Let me open this up. And another thing they like to do, they didn't do it in the last article, but another thing that they like to do is they like to add the black and brown thing. They're steady heavy on that. They are steady heavy on that. But I want you guys to notice something. They always use black people as the face. It's black people suffering. It's black people who've been going through redlining. It's black people who are discriminated with the GI Bill. It's black people who went through slavery. It's black people who went through Jim Crow. It's black people who suffer all of these things. Remember when I did my broadcast about even the criminal indictment, and I showed with modern statistics that Hispanics, the Mexicans, and then the non-Hispanic whites, they go to jail at the same rates now. Okay, it's only black people who go to jail disproportionately. There's anytime you look at any type of discrimination and you say, oh well, you know, Hispanics, they have it harder than the white folks. Yeah, but they don't have it nearly as hard as the black people. Not nearly. They always tie the black and brown as if black and brown are synonymous with the struggle. We're not at all. It's black people going through the struggle, and Hispanics, they just don't get treated as good as maybe the Asians or other more Eurocentric buffer classes, and that depends, to be honest. And that really does depend. That's very arguable. But I want us to read this, and I want y'all to see the little trick bag that they throw. Okay, anytime we talk about reparations. Where is it? It's right here.
Ultra One, we're seeing
YouTube is
increased
suppressing this
activity
channel
in the
tonight.
area.
We
Stay
only got
sharp.
53 people in here. We normally get much more than that. They still mad about the Balenciaga thing, I see. All right. And trust me, I look at the statistics, so I know it's about that. But okay, it is what it is. Y'all make sure y'all share, please, and leave a like. We're going to show YouTube that it don't matter, that black empowerment is here to stay. So, reading this, it says black and Latino residents burned out of Palm Springs seek city reparations. Now, going down. Now, this was in November 30th. Okay, so like last week sometime. Pearl Denvers was too young to understand why her mother was bundling her and her brother up and fleeing their family home on tribal land in Palm Springs. Denver's father, who built the house with his own hands, stayed behind to make a stand against the brutal 1950s urban renewal project that was seizing their prime downtown land for nothing. No legal process, no compensation, no relocation aid. In the years after, city employees and the fire department raised R-A-Z-E-D, not raised like raised up, but fire department raised and burned down the house in the area known as Section 14. Denvers said her father, a community spokesman and devoted family man, fell into alcoholism and never recovered. Now, I want to take a moment to kind of pause that for a brief second. Too often, we have problems in our family where we had like maybe our grandfather, uncles, aunties go through different drug habits, go through large amount of that is because of trauma. A large amount of that is because of trauma. Okay. We have to understand when imagine back in 1950, you're working hard despite being a black man in 1950 in America. You're working hard. You build a house. You're raising a family every day in the morning, early in the morning at the crack of dawn. You're waking up. You know, you're going outside to make sure you provide for your family. You built this land, your establishment, everything, and then the oppressor class comes in and they say, hey, well, that's nice. Thanks for building it for me. You can leave now. Can you imagine that? Imagine you building, and this is post-slavery, okay, in the 19th century, not that long ago. Imagine you building your entire life, grinding and working your entire whole life to build a house for your family, to build some wealth
Ultra One, this
on
intel
your family,
identifies
to build
AQ
a
supply
garden or
sites
whatever,
in
to
your
build
area.
your business or whatever.
We need them
And then
destroyed. Marking
oppressor
locations on your
class, they
attack
come
map.
in and they say, hey, this is nice, I'll take this now. And you just gotta leave. And a lot of us stood and they fought for the land, just like in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. They was all like, no, we're not about to leave. We're not about to build this and then just walk out and let y'all take it. And because of the fact that they had weapons that our people didn't have, they had access to resources that our people didn't have, ultimately, unfortunately, our people lost that fight. So you can imagine the type of psychological damage that does to people. We have businesses that, because of the C19, I'm still not saying it, but the C19 situation in 2020, their businesses went bankrupt. They lost their businesses, and they're not able to recover. There's people in modern society who are not able to recover from the loss of their business. Never. So can you imagine you build a business and then that business gets burned down mysteriously, or that business gets robbed or wrecked or whatever the case is, and you got to rebuild it again and again and again and again, and it feels like there's no hope? Because at the end of the day, somebody can come in and say, hey, you're the wrong race, so I can take anything that belongs to you. It really belongs to me if I want. And there's nothing you can do. And they try to fight for it, and some of us won the fight. You know, some of us was all like, no, this is our land, and we're going to run you out. And much salute to that. Much salute to people who fought. Unfortunately, they couldn't succeed, but they still fought an honorable fight. But can you imagine the type of psychological damage that really does to a person? No wonder, and I'm not saying I'm not justifying this whatsoever, not at all, no, but no wonder
Took around!
they fell into alcoholism. No wonder they fell into a bad drug habit, a bad gambling habit. No wonder they fall into these bad escapism habits, because they need something to kind of take them away from the pain and pressure of this world of anti-black racism. And if you know, that kind of happened with the crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? You got people coming back from the war. They get denied their rights. You got people getting lynched in their uniforms, in their army uniforms. You still denied resources. You know, you're being stripped from your jobs. You can't provide for your family. You're trying to make it every day and you can't. There's nothing you can do. And this crack, and I'm not justifying this at all. I don't want anybody to think, but this, it kind of takes the pain away. Or this crack, hey, if you can't make it nowhere else, you can sell it. You know what I'm saying? This is your only option, really, because it's not like anything else is making the ends meet. besides selling this crack. And this isn't me justifying this, but this is me having empathy for their situation. And this is me saying that we have a very serious fight. When I read this is very sad for me to have to that this devoted family man fell into alcoholism because he felt to himself his family in his home. That's very sad. And we have a very bad history. So when I hear about people who fall into this stuff, you know what I'm saying? I get upset with them because I do believe in agency. I do believe in self-accountability. I do believe that you are 100% accountable for your actions. But I get more mad at the system because I know they're the ultimate problem. They're the people who caused the situation. They're the reason that this happened in the first place. So any bit, I believe in accountability 100%, but any bit I want to hold you all accountable for falling into a bad drug habit or falling into alcoholism or whatever the case is, I have to hold them more accountable because they are the ones who put you in that situation. They're the ones who pretty much put everything and force that situation upon you. So yeah, maybe you didn't have to do it, but they shouldn't have done it in the first place. So any bit of anger I have for them, which isn't even really anger, is anger at the fact that happened to you. You know, because if you said you are a victim at the end of the day. Even though you shouldn't have did that, you're still a victim. They're the victimizer. So you can never be more mad at the victim for acting out on their victimhood more than you do towards the victimizer for putting the victim in that
Secure the area
situation.
or start moving to the next target.
Okay.
Ultra One, actual. High winds are increasing in the AO. Move to an extract point before radiation spreads.
Digress with that. But let me... Hold on. I just closed it. Let me continue. Okay, it goes down. It says, quote, "It tore apart my family. Denver said before a U.S. Denver said before Los Angeles news company on a admitted reparations claim filed Tuesday against the city for what a state called a city-engineered Holocaust. Everybody wants to talk about the Holocaust, but nobody wants to talk about our Holocaust that we're still going through. I find that interesting. Okay. It continues to say, at the conference in Lamert Park ranked the Section 14 burnout with other historic racial atrocities, including the 1921 Tulsa race massacre in Oklahoma that destroyed a neighborhood called the Black Wall. Mind you, every time they bring that up, the Tulsa race massacre, that was not the only massacre, and that was not the only Black Wall Street. We have Black Wall Streets all around the nation. Okay, that was not the only one at all. That was the biggest one, that was the most notable one, but that was not the only one. Okay, but we're continuing. And the Rosewood Massacre. Okay, that was another one too, which wiped out a black town in Florida in 1923. Okay. Sister Jazz is in the building.
Ultra One, charge set. Target 2 is hot.
And they saw their claim as part of the border reparations movement, the broader reparations movement for Black Americans that recently included compensation for descendants of owners of Bruce's Beach. Okay, if you guys know the situation, TVA did a excellent breakdown on the Bruce's Beach situation, who were displayed by the city of Manhattan Beach, the city of Manhattan, Manhattan Beach. this is where it gets very interesting. Now, the whole entire article thus far you read, it's been about black struggle. It's been about black struggle from 1950s to 1920s, the race massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the race massacre in Florida, Beach, all of these things, Black Wall Street, all of these things. Now watch the little twist. What pay attention to this. Then it goes down. Okay, we're still reading. The city of Palm Springs apologized in 2021 for the Section 14 razing and fires, which happened in 1950s and 60s. But advocates say there has been no action in 14 months.
Is pushing into the area.
In the amended claims filed to the city clerk, former residents and their descendants say the city owes them up to $2 billion in damages for the forcible removals, which took place with little to no notice, and sometimes destroyed houses with personal belongings inside.
Ultra One, the enemy is on high alert.
The claim identifies 250 survivors and 100 descendants, but advocates expert accept the final list of claimants to climb. The more people who can build that claim, right? Speakers on Tuesday described the damage estimate of $400 million to $2 billion. Developed by their economist consultant as an opening gambit in what is expected to be complex negotiations with the city. Now we're still going, right? Quote, "Don't tell me that Palm Springs can't afford it," said economics
Ultra One, this is Dino 4, inbound for extraction.
Melvix.
Radiation's coming in hot.
I believe
Be
that's
ready to move.
Lian Melvix, Dean of Cal State, Los Angeles, College of Ethnic Studies, who developed the $2 billion estimate.
Ultra One, your area is no
This
longer
could be
safe
done
for
over the
extraction.
course of
Advise
5,
you move
10,
to an
20
alternate
years.
extract point.
But there must be a possibility
Ultra One, we have
of
visual on the
reversing
LZ. Keep
this
it clear.
harm. Section 14, 646 acres of downtown property was owned by forgive me if I'm mispronouncing, band of C.R.U. and is now the site of the casino. I was about to say casino. Conversation centers the hotel, although some land remains undeveloped. Known to residents as the reservation, the land was restricted by the federal government to short-term leases until 1960. Here's the thing that kind of blew me. Okay. It says, the tribe leased plots to Black and Latino real estate I'm gonna just read the rest of the thing, then I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna need to read the whole article. I just really wanted to get to that part. At its peak, advocates said at least 1,000 domestic shepherds.
Okay, I'm good. Go!
And others
I got you.
in Section 14
area.
working to
Enemy
turn
presence is high.
the desert town into a playground for the wealthy and Hollywood stars like Lucille Ball and Frank Sinatra. Now, before I go, I want to give a special thank you to our sister Queen Nile for the $20 super chat. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your $20 super chat. Super sticker, I mean. I greatly appreciate that. All of your support, all of everybody's support is greatly
All right,
appreciated.
soldier.
So it's
Mark a drop point for your
truly
squad.
appreciated. I
Ultra
know
One, the
people
enemy
say
is
that,
on
but I
high
truly
alert.
appreciate
Proceed with
that.
caution.
So shout out to her for the $20 super sticker.